Crossed me out like tic-tac-toe. Watched us fall like dominoes. Paid the price and now I know I'll be alone and you'll be gone. What's the point in all these games if all they do is drive us insane? Thought we'd always stay the same. Crossed me out like tic-tac-toe today. Goodbyes, they hurt so bad when they happen so fast. Now finding my way back, I don't even know where to start. So I guess I'll turn into someone else. Spend my days in this cell, locked up in my own cell, feeling so damn broken apart. So I guess I'll hide from all my problems. I can't go so long. Cross me out like tic-tac-toe. Watch this fall like dominoes. Paid the price and now I know I'll be alone and you'll be gone. What's the point in all these games if all they do is drive us insane? Thought we'd always stay the same. Cross me out like tic-tac-toe today. Don't think I'll ever face it. All of my time I wasted. You always said you hate it. I don't even know where to start. So I guess I'll turn nothing into something. I'm always caught up running, and it's so hard to function. Feeling so damn broken apart. So I guess I'll hide from all my problems. I can't go so long. Cross me out like tic-tac-toe. Watch this fall like dominoes. Paid the price and now I know I'll be alone and you'll be gone. What's the point in all these games if all they do is drive us insane? Thought we'd always stay the same. Cross me out like tic-tac-toe today.
The Morning Fix live radio show will begin shortly. For your best news coverage and commentary, tune in daily at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on The Morning Fix. The Morning Fix live radio show will begin shortly.
Master decide whether they can investigate it.
Because she's biased and corrupt. Like, I don't know what to tell everybody anymore. Like, I've been saying this since he took office. When you allow Republicans to control the courts, you get Nothing. Trump judges do not believe in the rule of law. They do not believe in precedent, do not believe in facts. They do not believe in logic. They just believe in whatever is going to help Donald Trump. And they've proven it again and again and again. So when I say that you cannot trust Trump judges, I don't know what more evidence you need for that fact, right?
Then the media is reporting, and also some of the facts that we've got from the Department of Justice of how the FBI did not handle these documents correctly in the first place.
So I think the judge got it totally correct here. And the government, think about this, folks. The government here has a tank team set up, a review team. But yet documents from that review team end up in the hands of who? The investigators, and that was not supposed to happen.
Okay for her to claim elections were stolen because she had a really good reason to do it. Take a look.
You tweeted in 2016
I knew this
Trump
was coming.
stole an election.
I was waiting, Peter, when you were going to ask me that question.
Well, here we go. You tweeted Trump stole an election. You tweeted Brian Kemp stole an election. If denying election results is extreme now, why was
So
it
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous.
You wanted to go to what you, as a liberal, thought would be a hostile environment, a Trump event. And how'd that turn out?
It actually was much more friendly than I was expecting.
I'm a neoliberal economist. I believe in markets. I believe in prices. I believe in profit. Corporations are not an incarnation of evil. Corporations are a legal nexus through which production gets organized, in which you solicit the cooperation of workers, of people who provide capital, of people who provide raw materials and input, of customers, and so on. And that functionality allows for the production of goods and their distribution and the earning of income and its distribution, which at the end of the day is the foundation of our prosperity. Corporations are people too. Mitt Romney got in trouble for saying that in 2012.
The United States, of all countries in the world, at its very founding, had the idea that you could become an American if you crossed the borders and you accepted the American idea. So when people came from diverse countries, they had skills, they spoke English, and they came legally, and there was not whole blocks of ethnic caste that had grievances or they had difficulties in assimilation with the majority population.
All right, folks, it is Hump Day, Wednesday. Sorry that I'm late. Always have some type of technical issues going on here behind the scenes. But nonetheless, we are here. It is, like I said, Wednesday Hump Day, 10:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, September 7th. It is currently 68 degrees and cloudy here in New York City. We have a lot to discuss, a lot of things to cover. This whole thing with the special master, I'm not going to get into the legal issues. I'm just going to commentate from what I'm hearing as a person, as a lay person, just watching this and seeing how the liberals cover it, how different lawyers have different angles and perspectives, the more polarized ones, and so on and so forth. I just find it interesting, this coverage right here of MSNBC decided to cover the whole idea of a special master, meaning we know that what happened with Trump happened in Mar-a-Lago. We had the FBI raid. They came in, they took everything. It was a general sweep. They took what they saw and thought was special documents, executive documents, whatever the case may be, whatever. We never hear of this because this is usually handled behind the scenes, a gentleman's agreement. This is all supposed to be dealt with internally with the archives. But of course, in order to come at Trump, you're going to have to do all viable things to denigrate him, to denigrate his base. Remember, MAGA Republicans are the problem in this country, right? So here we are. Nonetheless, this is the problem we have. Look at how this coverage decided to cover the special master, someone who is neutral to look over these documents, because the way that they obtained these documents was actually an infringement on the Fourth Amendment. So the judge actually ruled in favor of Trump to get an independent, neutral judge to look over these documents to decide whether they should take it to court or not.
And security official from the George W. Bush administration called it a genuinely unprecedented decision by a judge. A Harvard Law School professor called Cannon's reasoning thin at best and deeply problematic. A New York University law professor told The Times that the judge chose a radical path. So basically
and notice how she's only saying where they're from, what possible institution they work for, but not mentioning their names. That's a key thing I want you guys to pick up on. They're not mentioning their names, meaning they don't want their reputation on the line. Lawyers' reputations are huge. Why? Because they have to argue for and against cases at times. Sometimes they may have to argue on the side of what Donald Trump made, right? It all depends on who pays for the solicitor, who wants what, who's going to pay what. That's how there's no loyalty just purely to the law. They have loyalty to ethics. They have loyalty to the general practice of law. But when it comes to what side of the argument they're going to be on, there's no real loyalty there. But everyone needs a everyone needs a defender. Everyone needs a prosecutor. Everyone, whether the state needs a prosecutor, whether you need a defender, doesn't matter. They're not going to throw their names in the ring because it would be implicit bias, and that would be a confidential conflict of interest in some regard, could be seen unethical by the Bar Association. That's as much as I know. I don't know everything entirely, but I know sometimes it's better to not take a stance and put your name on it. But I could do it blindly. And we're going to talk about some of the lawyers that have taken a stance, like Elie Mystal, the constitutional scholars. Look at how MSDNC covers it here initially.
The entire legal community is shocked by this judge's call.
The
but you know
entire,
who isn't?
wait. The entire legal community? Wow. Yeah, okay.
Donald Trump. And you know why? Judge Eileen Cannon, the judge who made this decision, was appointed by Donald Trump.
Sure.
She was confirmed in the final days of his presidency after Trump lost the 2020 election.
You guys know who else was appointed by Donald Trump? Judge Kavanaugh, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, right? You guys know that they ruled against what he wanted 2 times, the border situation in terms of Title 42. They ruled against him in that, right? And there was another case where they ruled against Trump. So just because he appoints the Supreme Court justice, just because he appoints these judges, doesn't automatically mean they're going to rule in favor. Just like a whole bunch of Obama judges. There's a lot of Obama judges, right? 50-something, whatever, that he appointed. They didn't always vote Obama's way or judge Obama's way. That doesn't mean anything. They don't have loyalty to a person. Judges are not loyal to you, the person. They're loyal to something else. So at least I'd hope that's what you're appointing them for. They're loyal to the law, the Constitution.
Election. Like many Trump appointees, Judge Cannon is a longtime member of the Federalist Society, a well-financed and highly influential conservative group that aligned itself with Trump well before he was even elected. The Federalist Society is instrumental in championing judges with hardline conservative views.
So this is the only part of this that I like is that she's highlighting the journalistic war that's going on behind the scenes, right? Project Veritas and the Federalist Society. You have Judicial Watch too, by the way, but Judicial Watch, more grassroots. He's more like, more of a dagger. But you have Project Veritas and you have the Federalists. That's Molly Hemingway. There's a whole bunch of big names that work there. Yeah, I think even Charlie Kirk commentates there at the Federal. This is a behind-the-scenes grassroots argument between journalists, publications. So she's revealing and tipping her hand behind the scenes that there is a vision war here. The Federalist has been ignited ever since Roe v. Wade was passed, started to persuade, write publication. It's what you do. You try to convince people, convey an idea. Hey, we don't want to kill babies, or hey, we want to make sure that there's some order at the border, right? Hey, we want to make sure that we understand that a corporation is not just a blanketed corporation, it's a body of people. An enterprise is a body of people. No one business exists, just one entity or one person that you just seemingly tax. A corporation has thousands, sometimes maybe 100, maybe 50 people, and it could be one person, and we don't know. But at the end of the day, it still could exist a body of people who all pay their taxes while the corporation has to pay their taxes. Hey, Federalist Society has been writing pieces for years. We're talking about better part of 25 plus years. Well, liberal side has a lot of publications. The Nation, New York Times, sometimes could lean right, sometimes some depending on who's writing for the New York Times. Wall Street Journal sometimes could lean right depending who's writing for the Wall Street Journal. You have The Nation, you have The Hill, right? You have all these publications that the Federalist is basically up against. Project Veritas, basically up against. So she's just revealing the journalistic war that's going on behind the scenes. The who's going to win the power of the convincing. How could I get you to see my idea over theirs? My vision over their vision.
And ties to the conservative movement, and getting them appointed to the federal bench. Case in point, should the Justice Department choose to appeal this ruling, they will be doing so in the 11th Circuit, an appeals court where the majority of judges were also appointed by Donald Trump. Several of those Trump appointees are also members of the Federalist Society. And above,
you know, I've never seen so much insecurity from liberal media that literally has the power of everything. I'm going to read to you once again what Rob Finnecky of Newsmax in Wake Up America, he just said the other day on Twitter. This is what he said, and it's right on point. And this was in response to Joe Biden's calling a threat to democracy. MAGA Republicans are a threat to democracy. Democrats control the White House, Congress, the Senate, the media, big tech, Hollywood, and somehow Republicans are a threat to democracy. They own everything. Everything. So much so that you even have Bill Barr, who leans right, is terrified of the Democrats' control of the White House, Congress, Senate, media, big tech, Hollywood, and other big, you know, just anything big out there. They have it. That's them. They control and they put everything in front of our eyes to see, to read, to materialize in our school system. The school unions lean left. School unions lean left. It's incredible. And the one entity in terms of law and order, which conservatives and Republicans have always been about, the party of law and order. No, Mandy, you weren't late. I was. The party of law and order. Of course, we're going to be on the ball when it comes to appointing judges, making sure we have the right prosecutors. We've been falling asleep at the DAs around this country. You see it in Democrat-run cities. You have progressive DAs, and who gets mostly affected? Minorities. I always like to bring up minorities, right? Well, these progressive DAs are not being tough on crime, and therefore having people out to commit more crimes. And it just affects the groups that in the neighborhoods in which they come from. So yes, we are the party of law and order. So we're going to appoint judges and DAs. We're going to fight for it. We're going to make sure we stand in there. And we're going to want to put senators in there because senators also write laws. So yeah. But the insecurity is so real. The Trump derangement syndrome is so incredible. Let's continue.
Of that court, there is the Supreme Court with a 6-3 conservative majority. One
God.
where half the conservative judges were appointed by Donald Trump. And all three of Trump's Supreme Court nominees were also handpicked by the Federalist Society. That is a lot of hardline conservatives on the bench, courtesy of Donald Trump
but I'm just
and
saying,
the Federalist
this
Society.
is
A very successful co-production.
You could make the argument for the left every time. We have lived under liberal judges for decades. Norma Shapiro is a prime example of that, letting out literally nearly 2,000 inmates in Philadelphia to cause more mayhem. She was a liberal judge in Philadelphia. So you had your play. You had your fill. You've tried your concepts. You've tried your big ideas. We've implemented your vision. It just stinks. It's not our fault. It doesn't work.
Remember that during his presidency, Trump and Mitch McConnell appointed more than 200 judges to lifetime appointments on the federal bench, including those 3 Supreme Court seats, one of which, lest we forget, Senator McConnell blatantly stole from President Obama.
Wow.
Of all the judges currently on the federal bench, more than a quarter of them were appointed by Donald Trump. In just 4 years, Trump and McConnell appointed 54 judges to federal appeals courts, nearly as many as Barack Obama confirmed during his entire 8-year presidency. And
Yeah, because this just reveals what the primary concern was. One, distinctly different people here. One is a politician, the other is a businessman. He's not going to go in there willy-nilly and just have a good time and say, hey, we want to get this done. He says, no, we're going to get this done. There's different language just between the two. Yes, Obama has the gift of gab. The guy is a great public speaker. Trump's got nothing on this man when it comes to speaking and galvanizing a crowd, for sure. And Trump is good. Trust me. He gets you excited, gets you fired up. That's more for an arena. That's more for like sports, sporting events, going gambling. Yeah, that would be nice. It'd be great. But let's keep it full 100. The reason why a lot of young folks are into politics and understand politics well, because my man had the gift of gab and the way of how he spoke. Very, very politically correct. And let's be honest, he had different ambitions and different agenda. Primary focus, 101, was Obamacare. So you have Obamacare versus a guy who wants a strong border. Very distinctly agendas here. So, of course, they're probably going to pursue judges differently. Duh.
Most of Trump's judicial nominees were very young at the time of their nomination, and they are all extremely conservative. Eileen Cannon, for example, the judge in this Mar-a-Lago case, is only 41 years old. She was 39 when Trump nominated her as district judge.
Oh, age
Cannon
matters
worked
now.
as a clerk for
Age matters now. But Ketanji Brown Jackson, age didn't matter. We were like, oh, she's a little young. She's not as seasoned. Oh, no, she's overqualified. She's the most qualified. What does that mean? What does that mean, overqualified? This is the highest judicial seat in the land. What do you mean, overqualified? What qualifications do you need to be a Supreme Court justice? This is the highest court in the land, right? When you actually look down the list, what is the criteria of becoming a Supreme Court justice? One, it's a president who wants to appoint you. That's it. That's it. So I don't, overqualified? What do you talk, by what metric? Dum-dums, relax, take it easy. But you want to talk about young. Now she's too young. Why is she worried about that? Because it's a lifelong appointment. 41, pero wow. She's not going to go anywhere. She's going to stay there for a long time. We're not going to be able to get rid of her. Put some arsenic in her cup. No, I'm just joking. We'll be back in a moment. All right, folks, it is Hump Day here on the Morning Fix Live Radio Show. I'm your host, Macho. It is now current time, 10:50. What is it now? 10:51? Oh, my goodness. 10:51 Eastern Standard Time here in New York City, September 7th, 2022. 68 degrees over here and cloudy. Oh, it's a doom cloud over here. Absolute doom cloud. As you saw there, the great Mandy has created another commercial merch drop that's coming on September 15th. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to read out this challenge. I want to know if you guys accept it or not. I didn't get that in the Telegram group for some of my core followers out there. Let me read this for you guys. The Morning Fix next goals are to average 75 viewers per show. We want to sell about 100 Morning Fix mugs and t-shirts. That's 200 items, okay? Get to 500 followers on this channel by the end of the year. You got that? We can do that. We can do that. You understand that? We can do that. Since you guys make the show happen, I will tell you what. I'm looking for the top 5 individuals who can campaign the hardest for the show, who will receive a bundle of free merch in the upcoming selection that I am working on as we speak. Right now, I am working on it behind the scenes, coming up with some new designs, okay? To participate, number 1, if you want to join, here's what you got to be. You have to list the names of people you got to follow the channel. Number 2, input folks who purchased merch in this group via pictures. So that means whoever you push to buy merch, have them send you a photo and put that in the group. Put that in there. I want to see who. I'm going to tally it up, folks, by name. And then 3, place your own order for your personal order for your merch. Number 4, must be an existing followers in order to participate. So that's you guys. That's all of you. Who accepts this challenge? Let me get a thumbs up. Who's game for this? Because we can do this. We can average 75 viewers easily on this show. This is a great show. And if you don't like me, guess what? You got Mr. Full Service on Sundays. This is a great show. And we're going to have a couple of people on Saturdays. You don't want to miss out, guys. And we can definitely sell 200 items. 100 Morning Fix mugs, 100 Morning Fix t-shirts, okay? And we want to get 500 followers to this Twitch channel by the end of the year. We can definitely do that. These are all goals I examined. I said to myself, we can definitely do this. These are all achievable goals. So September 15th, this is when this starts. It starts on September 15th. This is when the challenge starts, all right? You roll up your sleeves, you get your mouse, you go on your computer, you go to AJ's Rant Room, and you order your t-shirt and your mug. You take that picture because I want to see who got it. Throw that in the Telegram group. I want to give you a special shout out. And then get to work. Bring these people. You guys are the ambassadors. And we're doing this together. How awesome is that? All right. And also, that's September 15th, by the way. And if that's not enough, not only do you have Simply Sundays with Mr. Full Service, you guys are getting spoiled, by the way. You get 2 hours with Mr. Full Service on Sundays. You have like a mock Sunday dinner, like he prepares you. Hey, here's some ideas how to make some dinner to get you ready for Sunday night dinner. I mean, how incredibly spoiled are you guys? Huh? You guys are spoiled. You know that? And here we go. Now on September 12th, because the NFL starts this week, September 12th, you're going to hear us trash talk. We're going to give you another hour every Monday on the Morning Fix Live Radio Show, sandwich in between 2 hours of news coverage. We're going to give you the Sports Hour on the Morning Fix. That's right. Your favorite content creators are coming right here together. It's going to be like a mega Voltron coming together. Like we're going to come together. I think we're going to blow this up. I don't think it's going to be able to contain all of our attitudes. I don't think it's going to be able to contain our takes. off the wall. Sometimes I like to say off the wall takes that even my coworkers look at me that there's something wrong with me. Like, what am I talking about? Does this guy even know sports? Yes, I know sports. I just want to have a hot take. Let's talk about it. That's right. We're going to have AJ's Rant Room, Ink 34, Mr. Full Service, and Macho all on the Morning Fix for an hour. And we're going to have special guests from time to time, maybe some pro athletes, maybe some people who are familiar with the game. And we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking for an hour. So you don't want to miss that, folks. So mark that in your calendars. September 12th, Monday, an hour sports. That is the sports hour here on the Morning Fix. And September 15th is the merch drop for the Morning Fix. You guys saw. Did you guys see how that shirt looks? Did you guys see how that mug looks? I think we're going to have to run that again so you guys get a good glimpse of it again. Wow. I am thoroughly impressed with that. Thoroughly impressed. I'm beyond wow. Can't believe it. I hope you guys were able to see that. We'll run that a few more times because, it's my show. I want to be able to have this shown. We can meet these goals. We're going to do it together. All right, guys. We just covered it from the MSDNC's point of view of how this whole idea of a special master, independent judge to look over these documents that, quote unquote, Donald Trump, former president, took. They're going after this guy for every little thing. They're going after him in New York. They're going after him with the documents. He doesn't have nearly the amount of documents that old boy Obama has. Whatever. We're not even going to get into that. The man's going to be fine. He'll be all right. Even if they indict him on charges, they won't stick. So let's see what Jordan Sekulow has to say on his show in Sekulow here. This is obviously polar opposite from their perspective, but I wanted to sandwich this in between to kind of ground us a little bit so we hear both sides of the story.
Granted the Trump legal team's request for a special master. This is a bigger deal than the media is reporting, and also some of the facts that we've got from the Department of Justice of how the FBI did not handle these documents correctly in the first place.
So I think the judge got it totally correct here. And the government, think about this, folks. The government here has a tank team set up, a review team. But yet documents from that review team end up in the hands of who? The investigators, and that was not supposed to happen.
The same team who was reviewing for privileged information and to exclude that did actually give it over to the investigative team. And unlike a special master who would just be going through this to say, okay, what can the investigative team have? They were trying to do this simultaneous, and I guess they can't.
Yeah, that's the problem right there that she didn't bring up. What did she bring up? Trump appointed lawyer, Trump appointed judge, Trump appointed federal appeals judge. All the Federalist Society, too, is behind every single appointment. But here we have lawyers who are actually breaking this down. And yes, they support Trump. Yes, Jordan Sekulow did defend Trump during his first impeachment. So yes, he's going to support him here. And he's siding with this decision. So she said the entire legal community is baffled by this decision. Come on, let's ground ourselves a little bit here. Even when I hear the right say this, I say choke. Because I'm sure lawyers on the other side are not baffled by this. They're probably excited. All right. We're not stupid about this stuff. So here's another, this one right here. You guys are going to get a real kick out of this one. This one here is Joy Reid. And you guys know Joy Reid's my favorite. She's great. She knows how to do journalism. I don't care what you guys say. And then you have the great Ellie Mistal here, who is the constitutional scholar And the guy called the Constitution trash, the very document that could have arguably, we can make a strong argument that it's because of that document that him, and people, all the other conservatives you see that are your favorite, that are not white, are not considered property. How about that? What a concept. What a thought. And I know they'll probably say all kinds of names to me and how, oh, you're uneducated. See, Trump would play on people like you, sellout, pygmy, coon. Yeah, who cares? We can make the argument in the short history of this country, when that document was created, it literally turned over an entire institution and it changed the moral fabric of this country. All of a sudden, guys who own slaves, that George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, who owned slaves, all of a sudden they had a conscience. All of a sudden they're like, we can't do this. We know what this feels like. We were under British rule. We're not under British rule anymore. We got to get rid of this. This we got to be different from them. We're not them. Are we better? And so now, here it is. These white boys wearing wigs now. They're weird wigs and tighty whities with the knee-high socks. All of a sudden, they have a conscience. They have a heart. They have a soul. And they're simply saying, we can't do this to the Negroes anymore. But here's Elie Mystal in all his great wisdom coming around saying, oh, the Constitution is trash. It never considered black people. Really? Really? All right. Let's see. Let's see what the great Elie Mystal has to say again about the matter. It'd be nice, producer, if we had our volume here.
Because she's biased and corrupt. Like, I don't know what to tell everybody anymore. Like, I've been saying this since he took office. When you allow Republicans to control the courts, you get nothing. Trump judges do not believe in the rule of law. They do not believe in precedent, do not believe in facts. They do not believe in logic. They just believe in whatever.
Trump judges, Republicans. So we're going to combine the both, right? We're going to combine the two. Not only Trump judges, but Republicans. Okay. Tell that to a guy named Rudy Giuliani, Mr. Mystal. When your boy Bill Clinton was running for a second term, crime was an absolute nightmare. And your boy Rudy Giuliani, the guy they call disgraced, the guy that Eric Adams calls a racist, it's because of him that he got a Democrat president reelected. Why? Because he had a 50% reduction rate in crime. 50%. 35% of that literally came from New York City alone. Who was the mayor of New York City? Rudy Giuliani, which is why they called him what? America's mayor. Because he got a Democrat reelected, baby. Don't believe in the rule of law. Tell that to the people that had strong police enforcement that didn't have to worry about sending their young black and Hispanic boy to school and didn't have to worry about ducking shots. Don't talk about believing the rule of law. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up under a guy named George Pataki, and the guy did not play around. Everyone knew that this guy did not play around. You broke the law, you did your time. You did the crime, you will do your time. And he was very strong with the state legislator at the time. They all unanimously agreed we no longer want to be this thing called Fear City. What is this? We don't want to be the murder capital here anymore. But like Joe Pinion said, I just played that the other day. Joe Pinion, who's running for state senator to take Chuck Schumer, Chucky Chuck. What a weasel he is, man. He's going to take I hope he takes his job. I mean, if it's a fair fight. If it's a fair fight, I think Joe Pinion, come on, you liberal progressives. He's black. Joe Pinion is black. Vote for him. He's black. No, they won't. Because you know why? They're going to call him an Uncle Ruckus. They're going to call him, he's cooning. Look at him. He's a sellout. He's going over to the dark side. Oh, we're all about racial justice until we go and change our minds, huh? Till we actually have some form of independence and we're different and we all don't talk like this man, Elie Mystal. Oh, I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys, the Republicans this and this is biased and they don't believe in the rule of law. No, dum-dum, it's you guys. Go to some of your progressive cities. Do those DAs believe in the rule of law? You have DA Garcon right now in Los Angeles, literally gave somebody a very light sentence who went off and killed 2 cops. Talk about the rule of law, huh? You got Mayorman Mosley in Maryland, who's been giving light sentences, these sweetheart deals behind the table for years. For years, this has been going on. So they go back out in the street, and guess what? Oh, this is light. I get to handle and settle my scores, settle my grievances on the street, do it. And a lot of those murders could have been avoided if it wasn't for these progressive DAs, district attorneys, for some of you who don't know. This is gaslighting 101. But again, he's feeling himself right here. Mr. I don't know what he looks like. I would say Don King or something like that. Wannabe? I don't know. Don King of politics. Look at this guy.
Is going to help Donald Trump, and they've proven it again and again and again. So when I say that you cannot trust Trump judges, I don't know what more evidence you need for that fact, right? Like, look, the argument that he has executive privilege is so what the scientists would call stupid that it's difficult to explain it, right? Like the idea
He's so
that, first of
emotional.
all,
He's
privilege goes to
he's losing words. He's so emotional. He's losing words. I want you guys to know that Elie Mystal is not a practicing attorney, and you probably make a terrible one. I'll tell you why. Because if you don't understand the other side of the argument, I don't want you representing me. Because you're not ready. You're not ready to get dirty. You're not ready to expect that curveball. You're always looking for down the middle fastballs. You're 97 mile per hour down the middle, right where you want it at the sweet spot. No, it ain't that simple, Ellie, in the majors. In the major leagues, they throw things like sliders and curveballs, and they throw it in the dirt. Then you got a guy like Jacob deGrom as a New York Met. He throws 103 miles an hour and then drops a 90 mile per hour changeup on you, and you're like, whoa, that looks really slow. Because it's the major leagues here, Ellie. What are you doing? What is going on here? It ain't that simple. But you know what? Ellie wants to smack it out of the park. He is the definition of Mo Vaughn when we got him in 2003. This is a New York Met reference. For goodness sakes, I wanted to stab myself. We had a guy named Mo Vaughn who played for the New York Mets and was swinging for the fence every single time. The guy literally had like a 197 average for the entire baseball season, despite the fact that he hit 20 home runs. It's incredible. So, yeah, let's see.
The current president, we only have one president at a time. So it's not Trump's privilege to have. But even if it was, as you pointed out, with Bill Barr, who believes that the executive of the United States is something closer to a king than a president, even Bill Barr says that if he had a privilege, that privilege still goes with the government, not with Trump. And so these documents belong in the archives. It'd be like if Trump's called for executive privilege over the plane and then parked the plane, Air Force One, at Mar-a-Lago. Can't do that.
The reason why presidents have never waived executive privilege is because they never wanted to do it against an opponent. Because how would that look? It's messy. They didn't do it to Nixon. The Supreme Court supported Nixon and saying, honor the damn guy's freaking privilege. Some areas are not privileged. Some areas are right, free game. But you're not going to go through everything of this guy. This guy had to protect the free. He was a leader of the free world. He has more privileged information in his head than he ever will have on his hands, guys. The guy was the leader of this country. The guy knows the nuclear codes. They change them now, but he knew them. I just don't understand why the gaslighting is going on. Look, I get it. I understand right and left. This is supposed to be a grinder. But come on, folks. I'd rather lean right than to listen to this garbage all day. This is absolutely terrible. And these other guys here who are attorneys, you see their lack of response and reaction because they're not buying what he's selling, but they gotta do it. They gotta do it. They have to jump on board here. God forbid you go against what Elie Mystal is saying and Joy Reid is saying. God forbid you go against The black skin? You colonizers? You can't dare go against us. Well, no, not us, because remember, I'm a conservative, so I'm all of a sudden not a person of color anymore. It's incredible. All of a sudden, they don't see you for who you are anymore. They only see you for, oh, you're on that side, huh? Oh, yeah. So much for racial justice and equity, huh? Unbelievable. It doesn't really matter because when the shoe's on the other foot, folks, they could just make up excuses. I mean, I couldn't believe what the press secretary was. How could she wiggle out of it? And it was the most terrible display of trying to wiggle out of something. She couldn't even wiggle out of it. Peter Ducey had some questions. What is this whole thing about being extreme? Why? Since when, like Carrie Lake, since when we couldn't question elections? What do we got here? What's going on here? We can't question elections? Come on now. Check this out. Sean Hannity, here's what he had to say, or this commentary by Sean Hannity towards the secretary of the White House after being questioned, a very good question, to Karine Jean-Pierre.
Yes, of course, you're a Democrat. Here's the tape to prove it.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
Oh,
the
shut
president
up. Shut
is
up.
an illegitimate racist occupying
Oh,
the
my
White
God.
House.
Who is this
Russian,
dinosaur?
weighing in on the election, the Russian attempt to have the election, and frankly, the FBI is weighing in on the election.
God,
I think
Humpty Dumpty over here.
makes his election illegitimate.
He's illegitimate. And my biggest fear is that he's going to do it again with the help of Vlad, his best
Oh,
pal.
God.
And we're going to be stuck for 6 more years with this guy. And that is terrifying.
Oh.
It's terrifying.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate? Folks, look, I absolutely agree.
What a schmoozer. What a
That is but the
schmuck.
tip of the iceberg.
What a schmuck JoJo Bean is there. He just wanted to make her feel good, you know? Would you be my vice president? Get out of here, schmuck. What's wrong with you? Don't be a schmutz.
Take a look at your screen. Almost every major Democrat in America has been an election denier at some point during their career.
Yeah.
It would literally take us the entire hour to show you every single instance that we've chronicled. Now, of course, they all get a pass from the big guy, Joe Biden, and the media mob, even his own press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre.
They've been denying elections every time they lose it. Just like they say the Republicans do. Oh, it's never a problem with elections until you lose it. This has been a problem on both sides. Heritage Foundation, which leans right, has been saying that this has been a problem generally. They even said it. A general problem. But the thing is that politicians don't want to fix this problem, okay? They don't want to fix this problem. They rather this. This is what they want. They want us to fight. They love this. And we love this. And look, I know some of you kumbaya people are going to be like, oh, well, we need to come together. For what? For what? Well, we need to wear the same clothes, think the same way too? Do we need to share the same bed too? No. You want to be on the other side? Sure. You want to go at it? Fair game. Let the best man win. Okay? It's what it is. We don't need to come together on a kumbaya. Guess what? When we oppose each other, there's progression. When we have toe for toe, when we go blow for blow, point for point, policy for policy, there we start to find things. Oh, shake the damn tree. Oh, that's a rotten apple. Get rid of that damn thing. Then the other person's like, yeah, ew, that stinks. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're moving and grooving.
Who is a frequent election denier herself and a conspiracy theorist. She accused Donald Trump of stealing the election in 2016.
Yes, she
and
did.
in 2020, she tweeted, quote,
Look at that tweet.
Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the Secretary Karine
Look at that tweet.
Jean-Pierre, who is a frequent election denier herself and a conspiracy theorist. She accused Donald Trump of stealing the election in 2016.
Look at it. Stolen emails, stolen drones, stolen election. There it is. Welcome to the world of unprecedented Trump. Hashtag unprecedented. There it is. I don't know if you guys see that as the same way I see it. It wasn't like, there was a miscue. It says stolen email, stolen drones, stolen election. Come on now.
And in 2020, she tweeted, quote, Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the gubernatorial
Oh, look at this. Stole.
election from Georgians and Stacey Abrams. But today, she told our very own Peter Doocy that it was okay for her to claim elections were stolen because she had a really good reason to do it. Take a look.
Let's see.
You tweeted in 2016
I knew this was
Trump
coming.
stole an election. You
I was
tweeted-
waiting, Peter, when you were going to.
If you didn't know it was coming, then you shouldn't be a press secretary. But act like you've been here before, Corinne, because you're showing your hand real fast. You look like you're looking at a fat curveball and you're ready to swing. You know when they're like really geared up? You see those cartoons where like Tom and Jerry, and there's like this big stick. There's the person is about to swing, and I got him. Whoop, boom. End up hitting yourself in the face. Look at it.
Going to ask me that question.
Well, great. Here we go. You tweeted Trump stole an election. You tweeted Brian Kemp stole an election.
That's right.
Denying election results.
Talk your
is
shit.
Extreme now.
Yeah.
Why was
So
it
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous. I have been. Well, you're asking me a question. Let me answer it.
ridiculous?
I was talking specifically.
There's an imaginary
at the time of what was
person
happening
here.
with voting
There's an
rights and
imaginary person here, and I'm just like pushing him. It's ridiculous. Look. Unfucking real. Oh no, it's ridiculous to compare. What do you mean? You said it was stolen. Your homegirl Hillary over there says he's an illegitimate president. Oh, we need to push back on him. Crazy Maxine, the dinosaur. And then we had Humpty Dumpty. We had Peter Schweizberg, whatever the hell that guy's name. All these people were coming around saying this is not a real president. He stole it. He worked with his buddy and pal Putin over there. What? And this is ridiculous. No, I got to run that back. Producer, run it back, please.
Stole an election. If denying election results is extreme now.
Yeah.
Why was
So
it
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous. I have been. Well, you're asking me a question. Let me answer it.
And you said it was ridiculous.
I was talking specifically at that time of what was happening with voting rights and what was in danger of voting rights. That's what I was.
See, what happened was.
If Democrats
See, what happened is what she's trying to do. What happened was what you're doing is you caught me red-handed. You caught me red-handed, baby. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I wish I can play that song without a copyright strike. It wasn't me, but she caught me on the counter. It wasn't me, buttons on the sofa. And she just got caught red-handed. What is going on here? You said it yourself. Oh, I knew it was coming. And you thought you were going to swing this out of the park. And here you go. Oh, it's unacceptable. Oh, what are you doing there is despicable. What? What are you talking about? I got to run that back again. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having too good of a time with this one. This one, is she serious?
Extreme now.
Yeah.
Why was
So
it
let's be really clear. That comparison that you made is just ridiculous.
Just ridiculous. Oh, you got defensive. He asked you a question that never got answered, which is, if it wasn't extreme then, how the hell do you say, and all the rest of your crazy goons over there saying that it's extreme now? Because we get the question. I want every person on TikTok to know that if y'all could say it, if y'all said it, we can say it, and we're going to stay here and say it proudly. Oh, we do not believe it was fair. Okay? You know what? I'm going to say the polarizing term. It was rigged. It was rigged.
It's all fake news.
Okay.
It's phony stuff.
I'm sorry.
It didn't happen.
I'm not dealing with this nonsense anymore. I'm sick of this. Oh, you guys get to say it. You guys are the arbiter of the truth. You guys have fact checkers. You guys have, so he asked you. He's straight up asking. You can't answer it. For goodness sakes. Peter, stop bailing this woman out. Stop.
I have been.
Oh,
Well, you're
God.
asking me a question. Let me answer it.
And you said it was ridiculous.
I was talking specifically at that time of what was happening with voting rights and
Oh, you were talking about voting rights. Oh, you didn't say that the election was stolen. You see, all that she was doing when she said that was ridiculous, she was stalling. She was buying some words. She's like, oh, can you get it in there? Can you get it? Can you get it? Can you get it? Okay, and now that we did this a little back and forth, now I got the words. Bam. Boy.
what was in danger of voting rights. That's what I was speaking to at the time.
If Democrats question election results, oh, they're not a threat to democracy.
Yeah.
They don't care less about free and fair elections. They never graciously accept election results themselves, and we've got all the evidence to prove it. They don't value the republic, our Constitution, our Bill of
No,
Rights.
they don't. All right, Sean, relax. Sean likes to get really wild, and they don't value our Constitution. They don't value, and we say the same thing about them they say about us. That part is all rhetoric. But I spot the hypocrisy. You see it for yourself, folks. It's there right before our eyes. We literally sat here, we looked at it, we said, hey, Trump won fair and square. No, he didn't. He's an illegitimate president. Not my president. Not my president. How many times we had to hear that, huh? Well, we heard it. We heard it. We'll be back in a moment, folks. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to cover. All right?
G-Hughes, you did this one. Easy beat. I'm tryna get all of that cash. So that little bitch stop tripping, we gon' get the bag. Chanel on my back, she like living fast. She wanna fall with me cause we getting cash. I hit that bitch raw, did that and I passed. I did not learn shit in that motherfucking class. It's stats. I put that bitch like a bag. Racks. I'm tryna get all of that cash. Shawty, she wanna move fast. That little bitch stop tripping, we gon' get the bag. Chanel on my back, she like living fast. She wanna fall with me cause we getting cash. I hit that bitch raw, did that and I passed. I did not learn shit in that motherfucking class. It's stats. I put that bitch like a bag. Racks. I'm tryna get all of that cash. Shawty, she wanna move fast. That little bitch stop tripping, we gon' get the bag. Get the bag, get the racks, get the cash, yeah. Hit that bitch with no condom, then dash, yeah. I'm tryna get brain, have bread in the patch, yeah. Hit that boy with that Glock, burn his back, yeah. Hit that bitch with the stock of the Mac, yeah. Oh, he talking that cat, why you lack, yeah. Get the stacks, yeah. That's straight facts, yeah. She keep stressing, bluff this sweet and relax, yeah. What the funny pussy thinking just because I'm famous? They thinking that I don't keep a fucking stainless. I'm swinging that chopper, I leave that boy brainless. I'm dancing, my bitch, she bad and she be saying, I'm saying my Glock is cock point at your brain. And you saying that niggas really on the game, but these niggas be pussy and they be false claim. I'm a beast in the street, pussy boy, you can't slide. Fuck, these pussy niggas on nigga. Fuck that slide, she back to the ball, nigga. I had to get cash, get this shit on my own, nigga. I ain't grown, but a nigga act grown, nigga. Fuck that bitch, and I'm just dead and I'm gone, nigga. What the fuck, these pussy boy think they on nigga. She like how I smell, she fuck with the cologne, nigga. He think that he really good, but he a clone, nigga. Chanel on my back, she like living fast. She wanna fuck with me cause we getting cash. I hit that bitch raw, did that and I passed. I did not learn shit in that motherfucking class. It's stats. I put that bitch like a bag. Racks. I'm tryna get all of that cash. Shawty, she wanna move fast. That little bitch stop tripping, we gon' get the bag. Chanel on my back, she like living fast. She wanna fuck with me cause we getting cash. I hit that bitch raw, did that and I passed. I did not learn shit in that motherfucking class. It's stats. I put that bitch like a bag. Racks. I'm tryna get all.
All right, folks, you're tuning in to the Morning Fix Live Radio Show. I'm your host, Macho, and let's get into some breaking news. According to the NewYorkPost.com, raunchy video shows NYPD cop grinding with a dancer at a West Indian Day parade. Oh, he looks like he was getting his freak on. Wow, we might play that video later. I mean, what is he thinking? Look, I understand. But man, you're in uniform, man. Like, have some self-respect. All right. Here's on to some more news. 6 injured in a Queens apartment fire. People jumping from the building. Hey, if it's hot, you can't stand the heat. Get up out of there. We have an ice cold. Kids won't get to enjoy winter weather as snow days canceled. Canceled for NYC school this year. The best thing about snow days is not being able to go to school. And now they're trying to ruin that. Oh, God. Here's more, according to the New York Post. Creep gropes woman on the Upper West Side train, says he can touch anyone he wants. Really? 24-year-old victim was riding a southbound B train at the 81st Street Museum of Natural History station on the Upper West Side around 6:30 a.m., to which this guy says, I'm going to have a free grab here. How about that? What's for lunch? What's for lunch, baby? And starts grabbing her up, groping her up, and then he says, I could touch anyone I want. Get that man some help and get him off the streets, please, for goodness sakes. Wouldn't want my daughter around these damn streets, that's for sure. Innocent bystander shot in the Bronx and dies. Jelini Green, 25, dies of her injuries Tuesday, about 3 months after she was shot in the neck on Nelson Avenue near 174th Street in Morris Heights. I used to live around there. Wow, that's crazy. On the other news, Sienna Poe finds majority of New Yorkers back Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. What a shocker. Majority of adult New Yorkers of all ages support the student loan forgiveness plan announced by the Democrat President Joe Biden last month. All right, we have here ex-correctional officer who posed as a cop to prey on Long Island woman pleads guilty. Get out of here. What a nightmare that guy is. We're trying to get rid of crime and you over here. Stupid. That's the bad apples we got to get rid of. Red tape status quo keeping NYC in perpetual housing crisis, damning report says. We have an affordability problem now. And if we don't build and fast track more housing, that affordability problem will get worse, Citizen Budget Commission head said. Bronx DA now seeks to upgrade raps against man it helped free in Sucker Punch case. Wow. You know what? They try to clean up after their own mess. You know what? Let it be a mess. And let a real man, a real woman who comes in with some values and some morals to take care of these problems. All right, that's it for your edition here on The Morning Fix. Breaking news according to the New York Post. Back in a moment.
Was so clear. Are you talking? I can't hear. You're so empty. You stabbed me in the back and then you left me alone. It's wavy. Oh, I get it. You think you got it all figured out. You don't need me no more. I'll roll out. Here's my number. I wrote
All right,
it down.
folks. We're
You
back here
can
on the Morning Fix live radio show. Back for another hour here. That's right. If you're tuning in now and you're like, wait, another hour? Yeah, because my technical issues had caused a little bit of a problem. So now I owe you guys one, right? I owe you. It's all right. I'm always long-winded and ready to talk. Well, Victor Davis Hanson, he's an historian, professor, and a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution. And he has been shouting from the mountaintops. He wrote a book called The Dying Citizen. And he's talking about the border a lot. He talks about this, all the things the progressive left would call him a racist bigot for. I want you guys to see for yourself how much of a racist bigot this guy is.
Many Americans have to be vaccinated against the COVID virus, or they were not allowed to teach, or they're not allowed to work in a hospital. Yet the 2 million people that are coming across the border, there's no requirement that they be tested, or there's no requirement that they be vaccinated. So the United States, of all countries in the world, at its very founding...
I don't know about you, but just that initial prognosis right there, how much of a bigot he is right there, right, to make sense like that. How dare he make sense? So they amended this, by the way. This is old, obviously. But initially, for quite some time, this is what Jen Psaki was questioned over and over again. You remember Circle Back Psaki? Over and over again, she was questioned that how come Americans have to subject themselves to these mandates, get vaxxed or else, while these immigrants walk in and virtually don't have to worry about getting COVID tested nor vaccinated. You know what's? He's such a bigot from even pointing out some kind of common sense like that.
Had the idea that you could become an American if you crossed the borders and you accepted the American idea. So when people came from diverse countries, they had skills, they spoke English, and they came legally, and there was not whole blocks of ethnic castes that had grievances or they had difficulties in assimilation with the majority population. And more importantly, legal immigration was welcome because it kind of reminded Americans that there were people who were very competitive and they wanted this system of free market economics, constitutional.
Oh, they wanted free market economics. So we were always an inviting country, but we start having all these regulations and open borders and not being more practical and common sense. We just have them waltz right in here, have their babies here, and next thing you know, they're on the bill. Pick up the tab, Americans, the ones who are paying the taxes.
Government, a Bill of Rights that was lacking in their home country. What happens when the host itself, i.e. the United States, has lost confidence in its traditions and customs and doesn't feel that it should or has a right or it wouldn't be nice to impose their values on people who are arriving across a border. Then immigration turns from something very desirable and positive to something that can be very pernicious and dangerous. The corporate establishment has been a big...
And this is what Mr. Hansen is such a bigot, because he starts going after the big elites, you know, like the progressive left does. Victor David Hansen always in his blogs are going after the elites in this country time and time again. What a bigot he is. What a white supremacist he is, by the way, for doing something like this. Absolutely egregious. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree? What a bigot this guy is for even making common sense like this.
Advocate of open borders. And it's been very hard to write op-eds for the Wall Street Journal or talk to the Chamber of Commerce because they feel that immigration, even if it's illegal, is very good for their own bottom line. And the Democratic Party said, if you come illegally, we will ensure that you will not be subject to the enforcement of immigration laws. We will provide you with entitlements, but we expect in exchange fealty and loyalty and fidelity at the polls.
And that's what they want, Vic. That's what they want. You gotta vote for me, your king. I am a kind God. I am a good God, Xerxes told King Leonidas. All you have to do is bow to me. And King Leonidas says, I got a cramp. I was killing a lot of you guys, so I'm cramping up right now. I can't really take a knee at the moment. At the end of this war, you will bow to me, your king. And then you know, this sounds a lot like what the person I'm about to play here, Glenn Lowry. This sounds a lot like his political position, and I want you guys to hear it. He was sitting in a podcast not too long ago. I think this was like about a month ago with Lex Freeman. And this is what he had to say on this podcast show when it comes to his politics and how it either coincides with race or goes against the grain of racial justice or whatever what case may be. Let's get into that.
To people, regardless of whether or not they can afford it, is standing in the way of prosperity. I don't believe that. I think the mixed economies that we see in Northern Europe and in North America are a balancing of the virtues of free enterprise, property, and the pursuit of wealth on the one hand, against the needs to have a decent society in which people who fall between the cracks nevertheless are bolstered through a sense of social solidarity that is accommodated by our common membership within a single nation state, which is why
we come together. We come together. Common interests. We all tend to agree, despite the fact that we disagree on certain different like little details. But all together, we agree that we want a free country. We agree we want a good country. We got make America great again and restore the soul. It's all the same freaking thing. I mean, it's just, I don't like restore the soul because what does that sound like to you? Restore the soul of the nation? What's going on here? Make America great. Make it practical. I want my house nice. I want a backyard. I want a pool. I want a car. I want kids. I want a picket fence. I want to be making good money. I don't want to have to worry about ducking shots. I want my own firearm. I want to protect my own home, right? That's where we all come together for the common good.
I think nationalism is important, and it's why I think borders are important, because without a coherent polity who can see themselves as agree through their politics to support each other to the extent you can't sustain a safety net. You cannot have a social safety net for a global population. You can only have a social safety net for a bounded population who have a sense of common membership in
there it is. You can't have open borders. You can't have a safety net for a globe. You need to individualize it. This is a practical thinker. This is why Glenn Lowry is a conservative, but he's going to tell you exactly what kind of conservative he is.
An ongoing political enterprise, which they pay their dues through their taxes in order to sustain it. There's a balancing that has to go on. So that's the first thing that I would say about my politics. I'm a neoliberal economist. I believe in markets. I believe in prices. I believe in profit. Corporations are not an incarnation of evil. Corporations are a legal nexus through which production gets organized, in which you solicit the cooperation of workers, of people who provide capital, of people who provide raw materials and input, of customers, and so on. And that functionality allows for the production of goods and their distribution, and the earning of income and its distribution, which at the end of the day is the foundation of our prosperity. Corporations are people too. Mitt Romney got in trouble for saying that.
Corporations are people too. Corporations are a body of people that come together for a certain interest, whether to make money, whether to create some ideas, whether to create a vision, whether to build a vision. Well, like what we're doing here on the Morning Fix. We're coming together on a common interest. We want to expose and bring to light some of the things that are going on in our society. We want to talk about some of the things that they're saying. We want to poke fun. We want to come together. We want to say, hey, it's not that serious. We can do this. We do this as a corporation. Neoliberals are the real progressives in this country, even though they're very much so hated by the progressive left. In some regard, Ronald Reagan was a neoliberal, right? He literally wanted to have a free enterprise, a free-flowing economy, have some ideas here. We can even attribute neoliberalism to probably Trump, right? He wants the enterprise to be restored, be back here, be free, stop regulating the mess out of this stuff. That's why a lot of these businesses are leaving overseas. Sweden has saw great success after deregulation, after turning away from the stupid socialist policies. They have seen great amount of freedom. People are creating things. People are making money together. They're not sitting around waiting for the government to give them their monthly check. Like, here you go, nice boy, nice girl, nice non-binary, nice member of the LGBT plus. Good job. We all get paid our fair share. Equal pay for equal work. You've heard that, right? Well, here's the thing, though. Not everybody has the equal amount of responsibility. And quite frankly, I promise you, not everybody does equal work here. Come on. Bernie Sanders does far less work than me and you do. Trust me. But he gets paid a ton. Why? Because he represents a body of people whom he has to speak on behalf. He is a representative. Unreal that these people could, they try to swindle us, but they ain't gonna get us. I want to give a shameless plug to Simply Sundays with Mr. Full Service. I'm gonna give you guys here a video, quick video for you guys to see. Simply Sundays on 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays on the Morning Fix. All right, let's get a snippet of Simply Sundays with Mr. Full Service. Here's a bit of that coverage that you, in case you may have missed it, here was Mr. Full Service on Sundays covering the inflation.
Residents who are being asked to keep afloat a water infrastructure system that is, in some areas, more than 100 years old. The city is very plainly dealing with an eroded and shrinking tax base, as well as a crumbling water system. And here is how the state has responded. The governor famously vetoed a bipartisan bill.
This is the partisan nonsense that I talk about. It's red versus blue as opposed to actually caring for the people. You want to espouse like political flipping venom toward the other side, when this is simply a failure of the government to help its people because you're too worried arguing about the optics, who wants to look best, who wants to be able to virtue signal. Like, we care about the people. That's why we're stupid. All while people are suffering, you want to argue over Democrat versus Republican. That's okay. All right. Y'all want to argue about Democrat versus Republican. Let's talk about Democrat. Let's go ahead and get on this. Where's that infrastructure money at? Hey, Biden, Joe, where's that infrastructure money? Are we fixing the water in Flint? Are we fixing the water in Kentucky? Are we fixing the water in Jackson, Mississippi with that infrastructure money? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, Joe.
Are we coming up with plans
Where
to
is
make sure
it?
that this kind of thing doesn't happen in other cities around the country?
For goodness sakes.
Because I would think this was a big deal. People not being able to boil or have water, shower, food. I would think that was an issue. They've even sent kids back to remote learning, and we know how much of a flipping fiasco that is.
They're not
We
learning.
can talk about how they just did a
They're not learning.
that showed the reading levels have dropped back 50 years. For real. Because of, we can talk, the COVID closures. This should not be a partisan issue. This should be Americans coming together.
Get the job done, for goodness
Joe,
sakes.
Let's get this together. Governors, let's get this together. Mayors, Let's get this together. Stop bickering over red and blue lines. Fix it. And hey, how about this? Stop sending money to the Ukraine for them to fix their problems when we have enough here. This is why I like Trump. People hate that slogan, America first. The KKK used it first, and no, they actually didn't. This came from the founding fathers. America first, by the way. Because I'm an American. I don't care if you're red. I don't care if you're blue. If you're an American, you're an American.
That's
I
right.
stand with you.
And they got to fix the problem in Flint. They got to fix the problem in Jackson, Mississippi. I don't want to hear about your partisan politics. That's for us people here. Yes, Mr. Full Service. That's for us to commentate on. I don't want to hear from your politics. I want to hear how you're going to get it done, when you're going to get it done. When? Until further notice, that's Mr. Full Service, guys. On Simply Sundays on the Morning Fix. You don't want to miss it this Sunday. He is going to be there, folks. Whether you're there or not, he'll be there and you could watch it on replay. It won't be there for long, but that's a quick highlight of Mr. Full Service on Simply Sundays. We'll be back in a moment.
The clock, it taunts me, tells me I should be 30,000 feet in the air, but I'm only 6 feet. Still drowning in the thought I'll never be enough. Looking at myself and thinking he doesn't deserve your love. I can't escape the feeling I'm not human. It's just a subliminal act. I think I'm losing my mind, working overtime till my heartbeat stops on a dime. I think I saw a ghost staring back at me through the mirror. They're reaching through my soul as I dissociate the feeling I'm feeling again. Nostalgic memories of my past taught me, and I got nightmares of my future possess my mind. I'm staring at these walls, I think I might go insane. How can I feel something when nothing's felt the same? I guess it's wishful thinking that I can live a life without the torment of my demons and the knives. I think I saw.
All right, I got that video, that disgusting video from the breaking news of the New York Post. A NYPD officer dancing raunchy. By the way, in uniform, by the way. Here's a bit of that, how that looks.
Lean back, lean back, lean back. Hey, get him. Oh, you going viral. I hope about KD.
Wow, that's what we pay you for, huh? Hey. Why don't you get off work and take yourself and have a good time? We pay you to protect the city, not to touch the merchandise. For goodness sakes. I get it. I understand. You want some of that brown sugar. I understand. I get it. But not while guys are getting stabbed across the block and y'all not doing nothing because you're too busy getting your hands on black sugar. This is just unreal. I mean, he needs a room here. He needs a room, I think. For goodness sakes. Holy smokes. That's what we're paying them for. That's what defund the police. Hey, he said, let that man touch. What is... Oh my God, let that man touch. Well, no, we don't pay that man to touch. That man have a little fun. He's having fun, all right. She was riding the cyclone. Holy smokes. All right. I wanted to pull that up so you guys can see that what's going on that festival, the West. I never been to the West Indian Parade. I have no desire to go. I've been to the Puerto Rican Day Parade, Puerto Rican Festival, and it's a nightmare. So I don't want to be around that many people at once, especially when you got a bunch of people, a lot of testosterone roaming around. And I mean, it's that wild, nasty, toxic masculinity that all our progressive friends love and adore so much. So this is something that was covered over the weekend, I believe, or I think on Monday. Not sure. This kid goes to a Trump rally. I guess he was expecting to see some evil people, and he actually was greeted nicely. Check this out.
Hey, great to meet you. We saw this. We thought we got to talk to this guy. So the idea was you wanted to go to what you, as a liberal, thought would be a hostile environment, a Trump event, and have that turn out.
It actually was much more friendly than I was expecting. I mean, as like growing up in LA, you think that these events are going to be like very aggressive. And also I was kind of just saying that I was a liberal, but I was absolutely like baffled that people wanted to talk and would actually be friends with me when I asked, want to be friends? And they said yes.
That's right. So
what do you know? The deplorables are friendly. They don't bite. You know, they're actually pretty nice people. They're human beings. And they don't like the way our country is going. So therefore, they just say, hey, Trump, what do we got to lose? To which the community could never answer, right? Trump went out into the hood like he went out there like he's been there before, because he has, and says, hey, vote for me. What do you got to lose? I want to find that speech. I want to find that speech. Producer, find that speech for me. What do you got to lose? Let's see if we find it. Come on, producer. Come on. What do I pay you for, huh? I know that he went out there and he came out with his you-know-what out and had something to say to the community. And we're gonna share that clip right here. Come on, producer. I pay you good money. Let's go. Let's get that clip up and running here.
No group in America has been more harmed
Come on.
by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans.
Talk,
no group.
Talk your shit.
No group.
Talk your shit.
If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace. Tonight, I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country who wants to see a better future. Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control.
Come on.
To those I say the following.
What are you going to say? This is right here. This is what I loved. Right here, producer. Thank you. You found a good clip for us. Thank you so much. What do you got to lose? This is the famous, infamous one. This probably got his ass elected. I promise you. They can't answer this question, but they still can't answer it, by the way. Democrat District 9 can't answer this question.
What do you have to lose by trying something new like Trump? What do you have to lose? I say it again. What do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good.
Come on.
No jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed.
Get it.
What the hell do you have to lose?
That's what you got to do. That's how you talk to us. That's how you talk to us. Damn it. I don't want to hear, hey, what we could do here is we could do this. and Johnny and Macho and AJ, we can come together. We could do this, and we got this, and we have a better future because yes, we can, and universal health care. We can do it. We can do it. No, I want it straight, right down the middle. Throw me a meatball right down the middle so I can knock it out the park. Here's what he says. This is the best. This is the best.
Youth is unemployed.
This is the best right here.
In poverty. Your schools are no. What do you have to lose? I say it, and what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good.
No.
You have no jobs.
There it is.
58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose?
I want that same energy.
America must reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, who sees communities of color only as votes, not as human beings worthy of a better future.
What a bigot. What a freaking bigot this man is, and a white supremacist. He had to wear the white hat, too. He didn't wear the red hat, for goodness sake. What do you got to lose? What do you have to lose? Tell these progressives on TikTok. Tell them, what do you got to lose in voting in a guy like Trump? The lowest minority unemployment ever in the history of America. Lowest. Ever since they've been documenting it. Right? He wanted to change the way the hood looked. He wanted to go into Nitro. What is the issue? What is the problem? There was a woman, I remember meeting with Grumpy Jew. He said there was a woman walking around with a clipboard working for the Trump administration. She's walking, what's going on here? What do you want fixed? Oh, you can't have that. Now, nope. You're solving the problem. We can't have this. No, get out of here. Get out. No. Then they're going to realize this works. I'm telling you, folks, this is ridiculous stuff. I promise you. Terrible, terrible stuff. So the basket of deplorables are not so bad after all, huh? Let's see what more this kid had to say.
Ultimately, I think what you found is that it is easy to find common ground with people you do not agree with politically, right?
Yeah, I think that's what like 100 New Friends in Jubilee is about. That's the company I'm working with. Is we're just trying to find common ground between humans, and I think like at the end of the day, humans have a lot more common ground than we're led to believe. So.
Right. Let's take a look. Here's another clip. You trying to find common ground with more humans.
I am a liberal, and I'm trying to make friends at a Trump rally to see if there's more common ground than I thought. You want to be friends?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm Sam. What's your name?
I'm Todd.
Can you tell me about your shirt?
We're non-binary.
What does that mean?
Well, that means that we are very much against what our current socialist president is doing. We have a tremendous racial problem. We don't have to be part of that. We're not a part of that. We support people of all races, and so anybody that says that Republicans are racist are absolutely incorrect.
So, Samuel, after you made these...
There it is. I mean, look at that. The basket of deplorables right there. Those racist bigots, white supremacists. Oh, how could you side with those people? Terrible, terrible.
These videos. Have you told your friends, hey, you know, I went to this Trump rally and people were friendly, and what has their reaction been?
I mean, like a lot of, well, when I was going over, they're like, you're going to like Memphis, one of like the homicide capitals of the world, and of the country. And like, there's a lot of gun violence over there. And then you're going to a Trump rally on top of that.
You're going to the hood, white boy.
It seemed fairly.
You were going to the hood, white boy. And your friends was like, your friends who are liberals were the racists. They're like, hey, you can't go over there with those people. They're dangerous over there. Why? But these are the kind of policies that, whatever. All right.
Scary. And I think that's honestly what I wanted to test. Like, can I go into what I thought was the most hostile environment I could? But when I went, I told them, like, it was actually fairly friendly. And I think, again, like, it's just about starting those conversations.
Right.
If you can start those conversations, you can actually understand where that common ground is, where it starts, and maybe where it ends. And even where it ends, you can discuss with each other. Like, hey, like let's find
Right.
out.
Even if it ends, you got to what?
Start the conversation, and that's what you did by.
But TikTok doesn't want us to have the conversation. They block me, ban me, don't even show my videos anymore. I get on there and I get some creep that's like, oh, but what about the birthright citizenship? What the heck? Oh my Lord, you're harping on something that happened about 3 years ago. Oh, but why you want to vote for a guy like Trump with that kind of racist policy? Well, hey, why are immigrants coming here 7 months pregnant just to give birth so they can have that birthright? Why? First of all, they come into this country illegally. Oh, it's just nothing more than a speeding ticket. That's the kind of equivalency. No, it's not like a speeding ticket. That's not what it, when we covered immigration laws, when we looked at it, they literally could be put away where they can be denied entry back into this country for nearly 3 years, for violating that law. I don't know if you guys know, but you don't go to jail for 3 years for a speeding ticket. Maybe if you didn't pay a lot of tickets. I mean, a lot, plus tolls and stuff. I don't know. But TikTok doesn't want us to have this open discussion. They just keep banning people. They ban them. They say, oh, no, you guys can't talk. And then, hey, listen, those progressive woke-tards, those guys on the far left, hey, they ban them too. So TikTok is looking for a specific kind of rhetoric, a specific kind of language. Maybe if you're part of the LGBT plus community and you like maybe incorporating children into that, hey, I don't know, maybe. So let's see what else we got here.
Going there. I think going in, Samuel, you probably thought, you know what, I'm going to ask 100 people. I'll probably get 2 people who said, yeah, I want to be your friend. 49 out of 100 said, yeah, Samuel, I'll be your friend.
Yeah, I was so nervous going in. Like, I had a pit in my stomach the whole time. And the Trump rally was the last day I was there. And I was just kind of talking to people around Memphis before that. And so, like, before the Trump rally, I'm like, okay, no one's going to want to talk to me. And there were a couple people who did not want to talk to me, but overall, everyone was super friendly. And then Holly, in that first video that you showed, she invited me to her women's Bible study class, like out of the blue. She was so nice. And then me and my friend Malik went there, and again, like, just a ton of empathy.
No kidding. Samuel Donner, thank you for being our friend, sir.
Yeah, well. There it is. Thanks for going to, I mean, I don't know why this has become such a social experiment. Let me go to a Trump rally, see how these basket of deplorables, how they are. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, I'm not. Do I look like somebody that you need to do a social experiment for? How about just going out there asking people certain questions? I like that. When you see people just going out to the beaches and asking people just regular questions. Hey, who was the first president? Blah, 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 Barack Obama. We'll be right back. I got to cover one of the best ads I've seen. We'll be right back, folks.
say she need me, as soon as I'm leaving, I just can't believe it, if I never seen it, cause seeing is believing, and I see shorty tweaking, and they can see it's peeking, cause I be working frequently. Sorry nigga, ain't no beating me, niggas tripping like it's LSD, gun I'm clicking like it's LMB, in my city they all know me, finna blow with all my G's, if you see me, better respect my G's, chop a blow, finna hit your knee, catch cow, hoes, racks on me.
Yeah, do that back for me, get that cash for me, do it and I'll break it down and do that dash for me, hit the Rari, drive it fast and can you crash for me, but yeah we crash dummies, cause they some crash dummies, do that bag for me, get that cash for me, do it and I'll break it down and do that dash for me, get the Rari, drive it fast and can you crash for me, and yeah we crash dummies, cause they some crash dummies. Out of this world I'm an alien, looking around, I think nobody's saving them, why they still hating them, why they still playing them, you was just worshiping, you trying to pray to him, I get the ice thinking I'm about to hell in them, we get the choppers and they finna rain on them, we got katanas and they start slaying them, I ain't even jacking them, I ain't even claiming them, nobody came with them. Hopping in the car, what you wanna do? Yeah, we put a serving in the belly coop, so yeah, salute the troops, yeah. We just can't do with them cats, we tryna shoot, yeah. Do that back for me, get that cash for me, do it and I'll break it down and do that dash for me, get the Rari, drive it fast and can you crash for me, but yeah, we crash dummies, cause they some crash dummies, do that bag for me, get that cash for me, do it and I'll break it down and do that dash for me, get the Rari, drive it fast and can you crash for me, and yeah, we crash dummies, cause they some crash dummies.
Most of these niggas, they fill up with hate, cause the nigga been great when I'm showing them passion. Niggas is late and I'm guessing it's fake, cause homie, these niggas been living in past and show them reaction. When they want static, I'ma just blast them like it's my fashion.
And more very cool, no life like bitch, show is you.
All right, folks, we are back here on the Morning Fix Live radio show. I'm your host, Macho. It is hump day here this week. September 7th, 2022, folks. And it is still chilly, cloudy, nasty, disgusting outside, along with everything else, rat and vermin infested New York City that we got over here. It is beautiful. Beautiful skyline, beautiful city. I mean, it is gorgeous. But you have to have law and order to protect this city. You can't just be doing whatever you want here. I mean, seeing kids just running up on people, doing all types of crazy stuff, hearing gunshots, being worried about, hey, my kid's going to school. Will I see my kid on their way back? No one wants to live like that. That's why people immigrate to this country. Because not only can I get a vision, hope, and a dream, I can get some protection too, some real protection. You can't allow these activists to hijack the conversation and to take this over in a way that it literally renders us just pretty much not protected, just literally just defenseless. We cannot have that. We can't have that. I'd rather be protected. I want to have opportunity. I like connecting with people. All types of things. All of the above. Let's see what other breaking news we have here. According to, let's see here. We got another, let's go with, now we went with a already more leaning right here. Let's go with CBS 2. Breaking news. Let's see. We got Governor Hochul lifts mass transit mask mandate. Oh, what do you know? They're still doing that. Safety top of mind as New York City gears up for the first day of school. That's tomorrow. First day of school for all the kiddies tomorrow here in New York City. First weather alert. We're not going to be going through the weather alert here because we all exist in different places. Local leaders denounce white supremacy group at a NJ parade. What a joke. NYC shelters elevator still broken after nearly 2 months. Ah, there goes your socialism, folks. Bronx post office robbed of more than $100,000. I mean, we're talking about a serious heist that's going on. We saw the other day with a car pinned up another car, came out fully loaded with a 9mm, and then just jacked some guy in their car with their book bag. I mean, what is going on in this place? 5 hospitalized after fire in Astoria. COVID vaccine likely to become annual like the flu shot. Oh, duh, you think? And this guy ain't going to be taking it annually. Not me. Not going to have me do it. Screw that. By the way, there was a beautiful ad. I mean, has to be the best. Has to be the best ad. I mean, this ad was outstanding. I couldn't believe this. This is how you do an ad. For all you ascribing politicians out there, anyone watching this, and you want to do an ad rather than do a hit piece, this is how you do an ad right here. Governor Ron DeSantis did an amazing ad. Check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Ron DeSantis.
Today, we deliver for the people of Florida yet again.
You saved our jobs.
And kept us going.
They tried to shut us down, but you saved our business.
$1,000 bonuses.
You had our backs.
And honored our service.
You led by facts, not fear.
And you let us decide.
You let me go to school.
You gave me a voice.
You put us first.
And didn't let them keep us apart.
You let us learn.
You let us compete. All of us.
You protected our right to worship together in person.
And you raised our pay.
You protected our waters and kept Florida beautiful.
When they attacked you, you didn't cave.
You stood strong for Florida.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
Gracias, Gobernador DeSantis.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Governor DeSantis.
Wow. Wow. That's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. Wow. What an ad. That's like I'm coming out with my thing out, guns blazing. Y'all, while y'all doing little hit pieces and taking shots at each other, I'm just going to boast on my record. Take that. He took a page right out of the Trump playbook right there. Wow. That was really phenomenal. That was good stuff right there. I'm curious to see what you guys thought of that. It was like a breath of fresh air when I saw that. I was like, yeah, thank you, Governor DeSantis. I wish I had a governor like you. Jesus. Unreal. I just like that. You had our back. You were there for us. I love that. I love that stuff. Really good stuff. By the way, folks, in case you've missed it and in case you are available on Sundays, we have Simply Sundays with Mr. Full Service here on the Morning Fix. You're not going to want to miss it. Here's an infomercial, and we're going to roll a clip right after.
Okay, so let's get into this. There was a family of color. This is what we've led into. There's a family of color night out in Denver, Colorado. You have these multicultural centers opening up on these campus universities, multicultural centers, where you had the two girls at ASU. I know y'all remember this. Do we have a clip of that? We don't have a clip of that one. We got those two girls at ASU. There was two white students who were just there. They had Back the Blue and things like that on their computers. They were just sitting there studying, not bothering anybody, not saying anything to anybody else. But they wanted to go up and harass these two students. I think we got a clip. Let's cue it up.
Viral video from September at ASU's Multicultural Center ignited a firestorm over race on social media.
The video showed a confrontation where two white students sitting at the center with a Police Lives Matter laptop sticker on their computer and an anti-Joe Biden t-shirt. They were accused of being racist. And now the students who filmed the confrontation say they're facing disciplinary action from the school. Matt Galka brings us up to speed on this. Matt?
Yeah, guys, those students that recorded this confrontation right here on the multicultural space on ASU's Tempe campus say they've been the subject of abusive threats since the video went viral. Now they say they're being punished by the university.
ASU is on fire. I cannot continue creating pathways to help black students get into ASU if ASU is going to attack, harass, and not protect or support black students.
What a joke.
You have a better. You're offensive.
Zara Tacola recorded this viral video from September. It was amplified by a number of social media sites, accounting for millions of views, commenting on the confrontation between the students of color and the white students. The conversation quickly turned to race. Zara and another student, Mastani Qureshi, say they've been the targets of threats since.
But the worst part is that we did not expect that we were going to receive thousands of rape, death, and lynching threats.
The students of color now say they've been disciplined by ASU for disruption and say they've been told to write a statement outlining how they'd be more polite. A rally was held Tuesday demanding ASU back down. That rally included Black Lives Matter activists and other activist groups, with some saying students of color weren't going to be safe on campus.
Oh, boy.
If you are black or a person of color, do not enroll here.
The dean of students met with all of the students involved in the video.
What a
ASU didn't
disaster.
comment directly on the actions taken by the school, but did release a statement that read in part, ASU's multicultural spaces are open to all students and are a central component of a university-wide effort to advance our charter commitments to inclusion. Now, Zara is one of the members of the
Guys, this is the racism that we're opening ourselves up to.
Of course.
These are the situations that we are creating. This is the climate that we are creating by pushing this hateful rhetoric and letting people get away with this. We have to push back against this because this is not the country I want to live in. I'm telling you, I do not want racism back. It doesn't matter who's at the helm. I don't care if it's black people in control. I don't care if it's white people in control. I don't care if it's Asian people in control.
Damn right.
I do not want it. I want us to be Americans, period. Americans first.
Facts.
I'm so sick and tired of being known as an African American. I'm not from Africa. I was born in Kentucky. My father was born in Kentucky. My grandfather, et cetera, et cetera. I'm American. When you say African American or Black American, we are doing nothing but separating ourselves from the norm, from the rest of the
All right, folks. Today we covered a multitude of things, such as the whole idea of why us conservatives care about the border. Why do we want legitimized, pathway to citizenship? Yesterday we talked about it. We said, hey, we want to be able to have the kind of integrity at the border. Just letting people in and denying people, period, is not the goal in which we have in this country entirely. We want to respect the integrity of our border while also providing safety and security. We like law and order. We like that. We don't like abuse of power. We don't like abuse of force. No one does. But we're not going to call abuse of force for every situation that looks ugly. Because again, we're not right here at this level. We're not politicians about what looks good and what looks bad. At the point of the matter is that if an officer has to discharge a weapon or has to yell or has to utilize force, you also have to look at yourself. Look at yourself internally. What caused that? Did you escalate that? Or was it purely one-sided? So again, we need to figure out a way to have safety and security at our border. We need to use common sense back at the White House, because you can't call one set of a campaign or a body of people extremists when you are guilty of the same infraction. We heard the press secretary simply say, "Oh, that is ridiculous to make the comparison." You say it was stolen. We say it was stolen. Why are we extreme and you're not? This is absolutely unapologetically asinine. Then we have the special master, a neutral judge over the Mar-a-Lago raid, to look over those documents and to get down to it once and for all. They had access to client privilege, client lawyer privilege discussion and paperwork. They should not have that. Client attorney paperwork. They should not have that. They had access to passports, medical records, who knows what else. But these are not the things that your government should be looking at. So we have to figure out a way to get a general and neutral party to look at this stuff to decide whether we can bring indictments against the former president. And for Joe Biden to say he had zero, zilch, and did the okay sign that liberals touted as the white supremacy sign, but you won't hear anything for those fact checkers. He says zero notice. He had zero notice, then why did you waive executive privilege? Only the current president could affirm or waive it. So he knew that the raid was imminent and it was coming. Then we heard about this whole idea of what a neoliberal is. Someone who believes in free enterprise and free market for the benefit of all of us to be able to work towards a big goal, whether you and I just work there for the money or we work there for the dream. Either way, that kind of freedom allows for us all to exist in this country under a common ground. I'd rather have a free market capitalist society and not demonize why people become rich, because I'm the reason why Jeff Bezos is rich. You're the reason why Jeff Bezos is rich. We are all the reason why Bill Gates is rich. We use their software. It's become convenient. We're not victims of it. We are consumers. That's what it is. We get to enjoy these things and have the pleasure of it. That's why people also come to this country. You get to consume what you want when you want. It's just an open source network here. We also covered the whole idea of that Trump supporters are not the extremists. They're not the basket of deplorables. They are very tolerant, very friendly, very open to discussion. All you have to do is come at them correct. I say that to you guys today. When you have your heated quote unquote debates on TikTok, or your heated quote unquote debates at work or wherever you are, just let them know. Come at me correct and we could actually have a real legitimate conversation. Or do you want to argue? Like Mr. Full Service says, some of y'all just want to argue. Argue. No, we don't want to argue. All right? So, hey, some people do want to argue, want to feel validated. They have some internal demons. They have some internal battles that they're going through, and that could be valid enough. If they want to fight and they don't want to listen, stop speaking and walk away, live to fight another day. I'll see you again, right? Well, I leave that with you guys. That does it for this edition of the Morning Fix, the Wednesday edition, Hump Day edition on the Morning Fix. Tune in tomorrow. Hopefully no technical issues. Hopefully no problem with the producer. Hopefully everything runs fine. We'll see you tomorrow back here at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got a lot to cover tomorrow. See y'all.